Kit Kats can read. Hello guys, it's Katie. Welcome to another video. I'm on a whirlwind of video filming. This is what happens when you just don't film for a while and it builds up and it builds up and builds up. Before you know it, you've got like 3 books that you need to review. So here we are with my third and final review. And this is After by Todd. So as a quick disclaimer, this is a book that I purchased myself pretty much around the release date of this actual book. Actually, I've owned it for a few months now, so this is a reread for me, but I didn't review it the first time around, not sure why, but I'm totally going to this time. Really enjoyed this book. I thought it was so good and interesting and totally worth it. So if you guys don't know, this is a book that is about a girl called Tessa, and she's pretty much moving to live at college and to sort of like graduate there. She's got a sweet boyfriend, he's sort of like good, he's quite charming, but he's just like quite simplistic like that. He's the sort of boyfriend that your mum would want, like really kind and like no tattoos, and it's just very like straight focused, that sort of thing, like very sort of like sweet. So then Tessa goes there, her roommate, pretty much the opposite as Tessa, because Tessa's like a really sort of like goody girl. Her roommate is just sort of like tattoos, like punky hair, like smoking, that sort of thing, like complete opposite. And of course her friends are, you know, like that as well, like tattoos. And then we meet Hardin, who's pretty much the bad boy material that your mum doesn't want to have, but yet Tessa can't help but be intrigued by him. She finds him irritating and annoying, but she can't help but be around him. And that's just the thing that irritates her. It's almost like he's all the things that she wants because he's exciting like that. And she just soon finds herself just wound up in his world. She's learning about, you know, her body and everything. This is a new adult novel, might I add. So there are a lot of sexual times during this book. A lot of sexual things happen during this book. Drugs, alcohol as well, so trigger warnings for those. And yeah, so it's a pretty much a romance book that's just about indulgences and resisting and hot temptations and angst, and there's a lot more going on than you think there is. Like, there is family trauma going on in Hardin's life that we learn about throughout the book. So I really liked that as well. Really liked that there is a background as to why Hardin is like the way he is. So yeah, so this is told from Tessa's perspective. So she's telling the story and she's just like, oh, like, why is Hardin such a jerk? It's just like, oh yeah. So you might get irritated by Hardin, but when you find more out, you might like forgive him a little. But all I say is just be prepared for a lot of hot sex, angst, and just temptation. And there's family, there's friendship, drugs, alcohol, that sort of thing. College, internships for publishing, people's futures, and standing up for yourself is kind of like coming of age in a way, and that sort of thing. So yeah, really enjoyed it. The character Tessa, obviously she's like a sort of good girl, pretty much the girl that we should all be, really, like very smart, very like straightforward, pretty much like her boyfriend Noah is, just sort of like she knows what she wants, this is how she's gonna get it. She loves learning, she loves doing homework, she'd rather do homework than going out, pretty much like me, like I'd rather be inside than going out. Proper like introvert Tessa is. And she just like, as she goes out of her comfort zone, she's just like, oh my god, this is not my thing, I'm so uncomfortable with this. But then when she finds that she does it, she's like, oh yeah, you know what, this is actually alright. And pretty much what I found, like, you know what, this isn't as bad as I thought, I'm actually enjoying myself. But it's just sort of going in the wrong crowd. But she knows when to say no. Like, she does stand her ground, which I do admire for. She's like, no, Hardin, no. Or like, no, mother, no. Like, she puts her foot down, and I like that about her. So she doesn't, and I do feel a bit sorry for her because Hardin is really all over the place in this book. He is literally like up and down like a bloody roller coaster all the book. He's feeding her so many mixed messages, he just gets frustrated so easily, so short-fused. I think it's just quite a male sort of emotion and just how they've come across to me. So I think I put up with Hardin because of that. Some people are just like, oh no, I could never put up with that, but I think because I've put up with a lot, I'm not saying like women are perfect or anything. Everybody's got flaws. Tessa, really like her character. So Hardin, yeah, he's a strange character. I do love my bad boys. I must admit, when I first read this book, I was like, oh my god, Hardin Scott is like the the bad boy that anyone would just want. But since rereading it like this time a few years later, I'm just like, oh my god, how could anybody put up with that? But I totally understand. Been there myself in my youth. Like, you just reaching towards the bad boys, reaching towards that sort of negativity. There's something about it. There's something about it that us girls like. We're attracted to bad boys. That's why we read books about bad boys. We just like it. Anyway, that was kind of like a small little tangent about it. So yeah, the chapter's actually really short in this book. Like I say, it's a BC book, but a lot does happen in it. I found myself to be like going through it like fairly quickly, and like listening to an audiobook as well. Like, I found that I was really interested in what was going on and what was being said. I love finding out the backstory behind like Hardin, like what happened with his father and his family and that sort of thing. I really like finding out about that. I just found that really, really interesting. And yeah, just how this book ends just sort of leaves me wanting to read and continue on with the next book, because this is a book series and I would like to know what Tessa is going to do next. Does she make new friends? I'm intrigued in both of their lives. And yeah, like, you find all of that out throughout this book if you guys haven't read it. Yes, it's one of those problematic books, but you know, romances aren't perfect, and that is what I like about problematic romances. Like, a lot of this does happen in relationships. A lot of this sort of like emotional stress goes on with it. Like, I've been through it lots, and some people can put up with it, some people can't, but reading it in a book can be hard. So I suppose it could be like a trigger warning for some people, like sort of like emotional stress in relationships. But yeah, it's just what you can handle, so just be wary of that. But yeah, I find it intriguing just because of my personal experiences, just seeing what is going to happen next with that sort of thing. So yeah, I enjoyed it. Gave it 5 out of 5 Kit Kats all over again. I totally would probably reread it maybe in a few years' time, but I definitely want to continue on with the series. So if you guys have read this book, let me know down below what you thought about it, even if you didn't like it. I know it's received some negative reviews, I know it's received some praise reviews, I know it's received some okay reviews. That's the whole great thing about books. But the whole point is we respect each other in this community. Same with like Twilight. I know Twilight receives like good reviews and bad reviews. Like, I love Twilight so much, sort of thing. So it's just, please respect each other in the comments, and please respect my opinion. It's just an opinion. Some people love it, some people don't. Like I say, some people find it okay, but that's it from me. If you guys have enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and let me know down below in the comments if you've read this book, what you thought about it, or if it's a book that you got and you haven't yet got around to reading it, then hopefully I have persuaded you to give it a try. Or if it's the sort of book that you're like, oh, everybody's been reading it, do I read it? Is it really going to be that sort of thing? Just prepare yourself for sex, drugs, rock and roll, and emotional stress and trauma and that sort of thing. But yeah, I think it's really interesting. Backstories behind things I find really interesting. That's why I kind of like 50 Shades of Grey. I just like the backstory of why people are like the way they are and that sort of thing. But yeah, that's it from me. 5 out of 5 Kit Kats. Totally recommend it. Hope you guys can pick it up. Thank you very much for watching. Keep smiling, keep reading, and be happy. My name is Katie, and I'll see all of you wonderful, awesome people in my next video. Bye.